For our first story of the evening, we're looking at conservation, specifically of India's monuments and works. Now, conservation means different things to different people. For some, it means letting a ruin ruin. For others, it means plastering over what's broken. And for some, it means completely reimagining a space and putting something new where that monument once was. We spoke with some experts in the field about what India's ancient works mean, and we met an artist whose work explores this exact theme. Heritage, history, tradition. These are values and morals that are as espoused in politics as they are in art. But when it comes time to take care of our national heritage sites, we often fall short on our lofty beliefs. In this country, one can't help but bump into relics of history, and India is home to 32 World Heritage Sites. But preservation is a difficult task and one bogged down in bureaucracy. We met with Ratish Nanda, Chief Executive of the Aga Khan Foundation, to learn about why conservation is an issue of national importance.
I think the biggest challenge that any conservator in India faces is that conservation is seen as a burden rather than an asset, rather than an economic asset. And so what we at AKTC are doing here is trying to demonstrate how conservation and development can go hand in hand, and so that conservation is not seen anti-development and in fact leads to an improved quality of life, not only for local residents, inhabitants, but also visitors.
Likewise, Hugo Weihe, Chief Executive Officer of SafronArt, insists on the singular wonder of Indian antiques.
I believe, actually Indian art, looking at also the history behind it, it stands on incredibly powerful shoulders of 5,000 years or more of culture. I was the other day, I was in the region where the Harappan culture came up. I was truly blown away. This is the beginning of civilization for all of the world, right? So why has it not been embraced more, in a sense? When you have that depth of culture behind you, that is the greatest foundation for now and for the future.
But it's not just people looking at centuries-old buildings who are concerned with conservation. Young contemporary artist Debashish Mukherjee has made heritage preservation the focus of The Museum Within, his new show at Akar Prakar Gallery.
I have tried to put together a body of work which kind of conveys in a very subtle way that this is our responsibility as well.
In the show, almost all the works are a pure white, drawing the viewer into morsels from history transported into his contemporary, minimalist works. Many are inspired by his personal history with Banaras. But, Debashish Mukherjee says, it is not enough to keep an ancient building standing.
When we think about restoring a monument, we should have few people on board, few artists, architect, and some historian who understands exactly how things and everything should be planned well.
Nanda echoes this sentiment.
It's a multidisciplinary effort, and it's a slow process because a lot of hand tools and so on are required. But it's sustainable, and almost 75–80% of conservation costs go into craftsmen wages. I think to look at a ruin and then to see it as it was originally intended to be instills a huge sense of pride in the local community. So it's a win-win situation.